Hi everyone, my name is Zaki and I'm an online student from California enrolled in the Capstone course at DePaul University. I was assigned the VLAN protocol, and in this demonstration I will go through the steps of building, breaking, and also describing how we can secure the VLAN protocol. So here's our network topology. We have two switches and we have devices that are in VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So here you can see the two switches, and you can see the Ethernet interfaces connected to those two switches. So you can see interface 3 and 4 correspond to 3 and 4 connected to switch 1. And also for switch 2, we have 2, 5, and 6. So 5 and 6 correspond to these two devices, and 2 would be the trunk port. So the first thing we're going to do is configure sub interfaces on this trunk link for both switches. So let's go ahead and do that first. Vconfig add. Okay, so that exists. Let's try for VLAN 20. Okay, so that worked. So let's do this for the other switch as well. VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So now what we'll do is, now for each VLAN we have to create a bridge and then attach these two sub interfaces, these four sub interfaces that we connected, two per each of the two new bridges that we create. Okay, so let's add that now. Okay, so we just created the two new bridges, and if we show what we have, we can see the two new bridges here. Now notice that you don't see the sub interfaces yet. Let's go ahead and bring them over to VLAN 10 and 20 and bring them up. Just expand the window. Okay. Okay, so we added to VLAN 10 has sub interface for the first switch and the second switch. Okay, so we still got to add VLAN 20 sub interface from the second switch. So VLAN 20, and we're going to add Okay, there we go. So now the bridge for VLAN 10 has the sub interface for VLAN 10 from the first switch and the second switch, and similarly the bridge for VLAN 20 has the sub interface of VLAN 20 from the first switch and the second switch as well. So that's done. Next step is to what we could do now is remove. So let's first focus on the first switch here. We have 3 and 4. We got to bring over to the first. So 3 and 4. 3 goes to 10. 4 goes to VLAN 20. So we got to put interface 3 to 10 and 4 to 20. So let's do that. First, we have to delete it. And then let's add it. And similarly for Ethernet 4, which goes to VLAN 20. And let's add it to the bridge for VLAN 20. Okay, so show command to see what we have. So notice that it removed from there and it's added here. So 3 from VLAN 10, 4 from VLAN 20. So now let's focus on switch 2 now. Remove 5 and 6 and add 5 to bridge VLAN 10 and 6 to bridge VLAN 20. First we have to remove it. Now let's add it. Five goes to VLAN 10. And 6 goes to VLAN 20. Now show command. Okay, nice. So now the interfaces are where they're supposed to go. So now let's all right, so just verify everything real quick. So up, 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 up. Okay, there we go. So now let's try to ping VLAN 10 up here. And it's unreachable. Okay. So that is the build portion of this lab. Now let's go ahead and try to break the VLAN protocol. Let's try to do an attack using Yersinia, and let's go over that next. Let's type in Yersinia, and the G flag will bring up the GUI. Okay. 22. 21 to 22. Okay, so we're going from 21 to 22. And let's start Wireshark, capture VLAN packets and ICMP packets. So let's Okay, so let's stop the capture. Now you can see the double VLAN stack, VLAN ID 1 and VLAN ID 10. Able to reach from 20.20.20.21 on N6 all the way to 20.20.20.22. And the reason is VLAN ID stacking. So the first switch stripped that off, VLAN ID 1. The second switch saw that it's tagged with VLAN ID 10 and passed it to the destination. So this concludes the break portion of the lab. Okay, so now we can move on to describing how we can secure the VLAN protocol and how we can mitigate against these types of VLAN hopping attacks. So Dynamic Trunking Protocol is Cisco's proprietary networking protocol, which is used to automatically negotiate trunking between two switches that handle VLAN traffic. The issue with the DTP protocol is that it utilizes negotiation, whereby a link can become a trunk link. For example, an attacker sending false DTP packets can turn a link into a trunk link and have access to all VLANs on the network. To mitigate against this vulnerability, it is highly recommended to turn off negotiation using the switch port no-negotiate command, and to explicitly configure access ports as access ports using switch port mode access, and trunk ports as trunk ports using switch port mode trunk, and avoiding the dynamic negotiation functionality, respectively. The primary goal of negotiation is to make implementation easier, but this opens up a huge security vulnerability and is best if not used. Further, it would be advisable to shut down all unused switch ports and make them access ports of an unused VLAN, which will not have access to the rest of the network. This way, an attacker cannot just plug his switch into the network jack and negotiate a trunk link to the rest of the network. Well, I hope this helps explain the VLAN protocol. We went through building it, securing it, and described how we can break it. Well, I hope this is informative, and thanks for watching.